there are the statistics, and pretty dominated by England. Rio overall thoroughly deserved the victory, surely.
Yeah, completely. I think that when you look at the table there, where we should be, the first half was the energy was impressive. The way that we pressed the game was very impressive for us going forward, and I think that there'll be teams out there will be saying if they get through, we won't want to come against them, because the way that... And I think you've got to highlight the two substitutions he made as well. Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Rashford came on and give us that little bit of zip that we'd lacked in the second half, which was, I think, vitally important for our second half.
And as we saw from that table, if England beat Panama, which you would expect them to, because Panama are pretty weak, aren't they? They're in a great shape to qualify.
They are, and they would have learned today. We're talking about this young squad, as Rio said, players coming on, contributing. Maybe he'll shuffle the pack slightly. We know how exciting Rashford is and what he brings to the team. But yeah, Panama, I fully expect us to win, and then great confidence going into that last game.
I think that's what it was about tonight. I think we just wanted to see these guys get out. They've been sat for 5 or 6 days watching all the teams putting in performances, some good, some bad. I think it was just important that they went out. They got the right result. I think it would have been so difficult for them if they didn't get that 3 points there tonight, because they deserved it. The number of chances that they created, never in danger in that second half, and they'll make huge strides because of that tonight.
And we got a magical moment, didn't we? We were all up and jumping and screaming and shouting. A late winner for England doesn't happen that often. And enjoy Harry the hero.
It shows you how important set pieces are, aren't they? And this is another thing with Gareth. Tunisia changed in the second half to defend in set pieces. They actually went and marked the England players, very different to what they did in the first half, but it still didn't work. And when you've got Stones and when you've got Maguire, who were prepared to stick their head in there and get on the end of it, and if no one's going to pick him up from 3 yards out, that's going to be the outcome.
Clever header.
Thank you very much.
Great header, great twist to the head at the last minute. He sells the goalkeeper there, but that area is littered with goals. It always happens on the second ball. The Tunisian players follow the ball, they move forward. Harry Kane, he's smarter than them, he moves into the area.
Look at Gareth Southgate there. What a reaction.
Yes, it is.
Oh, no, this is our reaction. Oh, this will be embarrassing. Oh, sit down, you fool. Let's hear from Harry Kane, the match winner, the hero of England, once again. Very diplomatic from Harry Kane about that. He might have been slightly less so had it remained at 1-1, but we were getting mildly irritated, weren't we? Yeah, but he did get a first goal.
Even that in itself, Gary, is a great character, because you can tell he's not been allowed to go anywhere, because he's been held off, but he hasn't been moaning, hasn't let it affect him at all, and he's turned up.
Yeah, we'll come to those possible VAR moments in a second, but here's his first goal, 11 minutes into the opening game of the World Cup. Great start.
Great start. They've obviously looked at the corners and how Tunisia defend them. They've isolated their bigger centre-halves, the headers of the ball there. They've stayed out by the penalty spot, and now they're looking at second balls after that. Again, sharp, brighter than everybody else, and that's exactly what he needed early in this World Cup.
Yeah. We're quick sometimes to complain about our managers, our coaches, when things don't go right. Gareth Southgate deserves credit. He's obviously done a lot of homework, those corners in particular. The system, the high press, everything worked pretty well, apart from perhaps missing too many chances in the first half.
And I think I'd say that was the major negative from this performance, if any. It was just the chances, they weren't clinical enough. And at this top level, against better teams, you'll get punished. As we saw the first half, they scored at the end of the first half. And luckily, we had a good chance at the end, and it was Harry Kane at the end of it to get us the goal.
Even his substitutions, Gary.
Very good.
He wasn't content to sit there. He wanted to do something to try and affect the game. And the two guys that came on, Rashford and Loftus-Cheek, I thought in particular, certainly had a big influence on the game.
They did. They opened things up, didn't they? Let's have a look at the... you like wrestling? You enjoy wrestling? There's a couple of examples. This is the one in the second half. We'll have a look at that first.
This is crazy.
We've seen the other one a few times.
And I think you look at it here, you can... The defender's not really bothered or concerned about the ball at all. He's all over the back of Harry, and the one in the first half was even worse. But this is, I mean, it's crazy the way the referee VAR doesn't even come into play.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
I would love one of the VAR people to come out and try and explain that to us. I mean, because they told us before the World Cup started that they were going to keep an eye on this type of thing from free kicks and from corners. Yet you see two blatant incidents like that, and nothing's happened.
Particularly given the nature of the penalty that England
exactly. But this is one of the major reasons for VAR, I think, because there's so much going on in that box. So we're trying to help the referee. Here, see something that you might have missed, and if he has missed it, have a look, and it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Simple.
I thought Jordan Henderson played well, did you?
Really well, really well.
Let's hear from him, and then we'll talk about it. Jordan Henderson, here he is with Gabby.
Jordan, congratulations. How many times have we seen the reverse of that with England, a performance of endeavour and at the end conceding a goal that either ends up with a draw in an opening match or feels like a disappointment today? That resilience really bore fruit for England.
Yeah, it's a massive boost, massive bonus for us in the end, but I thought we kept going. We've always been saying before the game is no matter what happens in the game, we keep going until that whistle blows. We keep going, we keep fighting, and thankfully it paid off for us tonight with a late goal and a big win in the group stage.
That first 20 minutes, fantastic, terrific attacking football from England, exciting, plenty of chances going in, a couple of misses that could easily have been 3-0 up after 20 minutes, and then heads did seem to go down a little bit when the penalty was conceded. Did you feel the energy coming out a little bit at that point?
No, I still felt positive. We wanted to get the game going again because I felt we dominated.
Pace dropped off a bit though.
Yeah, I think, we didn't. Maybe we were thinking about the chances we missed, but we can't do that. And in the World Cup, you've got to keep that going, keep creating chances, keep going. In second half, we did that. We kept going, we kept fighting. Didn't create as many clear-cut chances and didn't play as well. But I thought they defended a little bit deeper, a little bit better second half. But we kept going with dangerous on set pieces all night. We managed to get our rewards off them.
And if you look at this group as a whole, and you were never going to say this ahead of this match, but this was perhaps the most important game in this group in terms of assuring the win.
They're all so important. Yes, it's a big win. It's a big boost for us. Winning the first game, it always is. But then the next game is the most important, and you've got to win that. And then the one after that's the most important. So it goes on and on.
It's only the third time in England's history.
Yeah.
They've won the opening game of the World Cup.
Yeah, well, like I say, it is a big bonus, but we can't get carried away. We won the first game, and now we've got to recover well, we've got to prepare well, and we've got to play as well, if not better, in the second game to win that, and keep going and keep going and keep building momentum. But overall, I thought the lads worked really hard, and it was a good performance.
And you could see out there what we've been seeing all week as well in Repino, that there is a real team spirit. You work for each other, not scared to dig each other out, but to really support each other as well.
Yeah, that's important. We've said we can be friends off the field, but when you're on the field, you're fighting for your mate next to you. You're fighting for each other, and like I said at the beginning, through the whole process, we've been saying keep going right until the final whistle. Keep going, no matter what happens, no matter if you're down in the game or you're drawn or you're winning. You never stop until the final whistle, and I think that showed tonight.
You did that.
Thank you.
Frank, he was exceptional, really, and he had a lot of good forward passes as well, which is sometimes the critical thing about him.
He carried on his recent form for Liverpool, and I think with Jordan Henderson, I wasn't probably sure what kind of midfield player he was a couple of years ago. A bit of an all-rounder.
Yeah.
And
he's a leader.
He's certainly a leader. He's matured on and off the pitch, and I think he's used a real intelligence to take that role. He's got great drive in him, but the one question you mentioned there is, can he unlock that pass a bit earlier? And we saw that he can tonight.
It was one of the major concerns about England, the lack of kind of people to open things up in midfield as well. So we need that. England need that.
You need the passer and you need the movement between the lines, and we had both, particularly in the first half.
I thought he showed his intent very, very early on in the game, where you showed it at half-time with that ball that came into him the first time, just around the corner pass for the forward running onto it. And if a forward knows that a midfielder's going to do that, it makes his job a lot easier to time his runs.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the penalty decision that went against England and for Tunisia. Rio, it's a soft one, there's no question about that. It wouldn't normally be given.
It can be debatable, but I think it's the one doubt anyone would have had about Kyle Walker playing centre-half.
Yeah.
His body position here, facing your own goal.
Yeah. Where should he be then?
He should be facing the other way. His body should be facing where the ball's coming from and being able to see the player as well, seeing both.
So open himself up.
Open himself up. Here, he's looking at his goalkeeper. That's criminal. Look, he can't see the player, so he's got no idea where he is. His arms are up, so he doesn't know the actual player. There's going to be contact, so therefore you get punished for that.
Pickford got close to it, didn't he? Just a minute touch.
I think he'll be frustrated. I think that wasn't perfect penalty, and he got a finger on it, but not quite enough.
Well, the interesting thing is that England have, in the previous 10 World Cup matches, had never scored more than one goal, so they needed to. That was important. And Harry Maguire played an interesting role for England today, starting in the back three, but more and more as the game progressed, he eased into the midfield and became a bit of a playmaker. Let's hear from him.
Harry, congratulations. That was the absolute personification of resilience from England tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, they was tough out there. They were a tough opponent. The first half we should have been clearing out of sight really, and we give away, we feel, a soft penalty. But no, we stuck to our shape. We knew that we had to make sure that we didn't concede the next goal, and we stuck to our shape, and we knew we'd get a chance, and Age has done it again.
That first 20 minutes, some fantastic attacking football, taking it to Tunisia, chances coming, so many, opportunities that actually in the end went begging and could have changed the whole complexion of the evening. But then energy did seem to kind of be sucked out of the team a little bit after that penalty for Tunisia. That last 15 minutes was tough in the first half.
Yeah, definitely. It was tough out there. It was really warm. We wanted to start the game really well, and we did. And like you said, we should have really been 2, 3, 4 goals, missed clear-cut chances, which you really don't get at this level very often. And we said at half-time we knew we'd get more chances, and we had to dig deep the second half really, because they sat back behind the ball. They actually changed the shape to match us up really and play with 3 defenders. More likely a 5, but no, we knew we'd get more chances, and it's come right at the death.
Absolutely, and as you say, the captain delivered, as he does. And in the first half, perhaps didn't have his busiest evening, did he? Because he was kept out of the game by perhaps some cynical behaviour from some of the Tunisian defenders. Did you feel he had a shout for a penalty?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was as much as a penalty as was that they got. No, Age is always in the right place at the right time, and you can sniff him out for the entire game, but he's always going to get that chance, and when he normally gets it, he puts it away. So, no, he's going to be a huge player for us over this tournament, and hopefully he can continue scoring the goals.
How did you rate your own performance, Harry?
No, I felt like obviously there was a couple nervy passes in the first 20 minutes when we was actually playing well.
What do you say to yourself when those passes didn't quite go where you wanted them to? Were you trying to calm yourself down?
Yeah, it's a big occasion. It's a big competition. It's my first game really at this high pressure. You just got to really focus, concentrate, and no, I felt like I grew into the game, and obviously we was a threat from set plays all night. We created numerous chances from set plays. We worked hard on them. There's been so many goals at the start of the tournament by set plays, and thankfully we got 2 tonight from them.
And looking at this group as a whole, really tonight was the must-win game. Panama obviously a far inferior opposition. You didn't want to leave anything to going into that Belgium game. Was today always the target to get that win?
No, it was no doubt it was a massive game. We knew it going into the game. We're not going to play it down. It was a big game. We needed the 3 points. Obviously Belgium beat Panama earlier on, put the pressure right on us. But no, it's a massive 3 points, and now we can build a little bit of momentum. But it's only 3 points, and we've got another big game coming up.
Enjoy tonight. We'll see you back in Repano.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A very good and honest assessment of his own performance there, Rio. He admitted to being a bit nervous, gave it away a couple of times, but he came through it, and he was also pivotal in moving the ball into midfield, which you need to do when you're only up against like one attacker.
Yeah, and I think that shows personality, great character. He understand he'd made a few mistakes and got through that. But that's what he's in the team for. That's why Gary Cahill's sitting on the bench and he's not, because Gareth Southgate knew they was going to have more possession, and then it's about players that can have the ability to go into midfield and feel comfortable and then drag players out towards them and then play behind them. And in the second half, he'd done that on numerous occasions, travelled with the ball and actually felt very comfortable. He released himself to be able to get into attacking areas. You need that.
And he was a threat from set pieces.
Yeah, you need that as a midfield player as well, don't you? Because if a central defender comes out, someone has to approach him, and then you can get more space.
And as you mentioned again, a team that just want to sit there and sit tight, someone has to unlock the door. So he opens the first one, and then you play from there. Yeah.
We talked about Gareth Southgate's substitutions, made a difference. Marcus Rashford looked lively and dangerous.
Yeah, he did. He took the confidence that I'm sure he got from the friendly game straight into it, and he's involved straight away. And when you introduce a player, you're saying to him, go and make an impact. Go and do something different. Try and change the game, because that's why the manager's putting you on. And I thought he gave us a little bit of energy in that second half, a little bit of trickery with quick feet, and I thought he was a good addition to that team in the last 20 minutes.
What he is he's direct. He wants to go and hurt people. Here you see him, he twists this guy all over the place, sends him for left and right. But what he is, he's asking the defenders questions. Do you want to defend? Can you defend against me? And he's got that pace and that confidence to really take it to people, which is needed at this level.
I think we're going to see a lot of him this tournament. You know, the freedom that he's playing with, we haven't seen that week in, week out this year in the Premier League, but he has a real sense of fearlessness. I'm going to pick it up, I'm going to run at people. And when the game did go a bit stale for England, he was the one who came on and changed the pace of it.
Do you think he's perhaps edged ahead of Sterling in the Gareth Southgate's reckoning for the next game?
I think it would have been easier for Gareth to change it if they hadn't have won this game. But I think because they've won the game, then it wouldn't surprise me if he stuck with what he started with tonight. But Raheem knows that he's got to perform. Just once or twice in the second half where he just stopped when he had one-on-one with a defender. I'm saying, go on then, click into gear and
like
go.
you do in Manchester City.
Yeah, just go. Don't bother stopping because no one will catch him. And I just think, is there a little bit of lacking in confidence with him there?
Yep. Let's hear from Gareth Southgate, the England manager.
Gareth, congratulations. What are you most proud about from your team tonight?
I think the way that we kept playing, even though the clock was running down, we stayed patient. We didn't just throw the ball in the box. We waited for good opportunities. And I think we deserved the win. We made so many clear-cut chances, especially in the first half. Total control of the game in the second half. We were strong on set plays all night. And, I'm really pleased. I thought even had we drawn the game, which I know would have made life more difficult for us, but I'd have been proud of the performance.
That first half, the first 20 minutes or so, some fantastic, terrific football from England, attacking football, chances being created, chances that squandered have eventually, may have cost England, and they're going to have to be put away, those chances, as the tournament progresses.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do well to make as many in a game in this tournament, but the pleasing thing was the movement, the pace, the interchange of position, the control from the back with the ball, and in the end you wear teams down, and that's what's happened. Good teams score late goals, partly because if you dominate the ball like that, the opposition tire.
So many players out there with so little experience on this stage, some that are springing to mind, the likes of Kieran Trippier, who's less than 10 caps coming into this. Whose performance has particularly pleased you?
I think it's a night where it's difficult to highlight individuals because it was a collective. The squad have been brilliant. The team selection was so difficult, and to bring the substitutes on and them to have the impact they did. But we've got this result over the last 3 weeks, not just tonight, and that's been down to everybody that's trained so hard, worked so hard together.
Were those substitutions always in mind, however the game was taking shape? Did you say to those players they would be coming on then, or was it specific to what was happening on the pitch at that moment? Was Marcus always coming on around that time? No. I mean, we felt that Raheem and Dele had both caused huge problems for the opposition, but maybe it was a good moment just to put fresh legs on, a different sort of threat. We've got some good players in those positions, and it makes sense to use the bench. And now, obviously, moving forwards, you have Panama, you have Belgium. This game in the group, you would never have said so before, but this was the must-win. As the opening game, obviously, you want to get up to a good start, but in terms of not wanting to leave everything to the last game.
Well, we've given ourselves a great platform to build from. There's so much to be pleased about tonight, in particular for me, the level of performance. But there's a lot of work to do still. We knew what a tough test Tunisia would be, and Panama will be a tough test in a different way because they'll be disappointed with the way they've ended up today. So we've got to keep performing, and we can enjoy tonight. Hope everybody at home enjoys tonight.
I think they enjoyed the last minute especially. Just one more word on Harry Kane and a captain's performance.
Yeah, well, he's a top striker, isn't he? And I'm delighted for him because if he doesn't score tonight, we'd be asking questions about him not scoring goals in tournament football, wouldn't we? So, it's great that we've got him in the team, and he took his goals really, really well.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did someone say it was an impossible job? It's easy. When you win.
Let's not get carried away.
Win.
No, it's a great night for Gareth because he would put under huge pressure as well. And he'll also look at his own performance. Certainly leading up to the tournament, we all said it before the game, it was excellent. He had a settled squad, he'd named it very early, the players knew the system. Now, could they go on and get the right results? So for him tonight also, as well as his team and everyone else, be huge for him.
Yeah, I suppose the one thing he'll be, we've mentioned it already, the one thing he'll be slightly irked about would be the fact that they missed so many chances, particularly in the first half, Frank.
Yeah, I mean, this is a positive and a negative. We're getting in there, which we're all happy about, and we keep talking about these forward runs in the first half. I mean, not many can deal with this when it's coming from all different areas, and it was for England with Dele Alli, with Lingard, with Raheem Sterling, Harry Kane up top. So it's the crucial thing is obviously you're going to have to take these to go really far in this tournament. They can look back.
It's encouraging that they created so many.
Well, this is it, and I think when you win in the end, you can actually put it to bed and go, okay, let's not worry. Now there'll be some issues. Maybe Lingard will be sort of not sleeping so well thinking about it tonight because he's a goal scorer. That happens, but the performance I think overrides that. and maybe you learn from it a little bit. Maybe we'll be a little bit more settled in the next game.
Listen, I'm delighted that we're sitting here looking at these chances, because how many times in the past tournaments have we been sitting here saying that our players are bereft of ideas? Our team looks like they're laboured. They don't look like they've got any idea of how to get towards goal, let alone create a chance. So to see this and to see so many chances coming ahead, I think that's a confidence, and I think that's what Gareth Southgate needs to turn in his debrief after this game. We're getting in, the right things are being done. This now looks to be clinical.
Yeah, 17 shots, 7 on target. I mean, it's a long time, I think. I can remember where actually I thought England played a lot of good football, created chances, scored goals and won a game.
Well, that's what,
in a World Cup or a European Championship.
That's what we all wanted. We wanted England to give us a little bit of hope, to give us a performance that had energy, had good passing, had chances created, and certainly in the first half, all of those things happened. Yeah. Plenty positives.
I think at the same time, do not underestimate how important that goal is to win it in terms of pressure. Like he alluded to it there, that's alleviated a lot of pressure coming from the media, fans, etc., about this team. Yeah.
Kyle Walker's playing a slightly different role in this World Cup than we've seen him play, obviously, at club level. Let's see what he thought about it.
Congratulations, Kyle. That was really an example of sheer resilience from England, playing to the final whistle.
No, I think it shows the work that we've put in these last 3 weeks, the togetherness in the squad, the believing in ourselves, believing in the system, and we got the goal, which always feels better in the later stages.
Tell us a little bit about the incident which led to the penalty, and you know, it was looked at by VAR, but a lot of people saying, a lot of the pundits in the studio saying it was a very soft penalty.
Yeah, I think, you know, in the Premier League, probably could have got away with it. Trips has given me a shout to leave it. So I've just tried to shield the ball because we knew that no one was with Trips. So in future I'll probably head it away and ask questions after that. But listen, we've got the 3 points and that's the main important thing.
And there are a lot of players in this squad with little experience at this level. It's the squad with the fewest caps in the World Cup. It didn't feel like that at times tonight, especially that first 20 minutes.
No, we played well. We played some good stuff. We created a lot of chances in the first half and caused them a lot of problems. But we're not the finished article. You know, we've got the 3 points, okay, fantastic, but there's 2 more important games that we need to, you know, go and pick up points now. The togetherness in the team, and as I said, you know, in the change room, I'm not a big talker. You know, I don't like to voice my opinions because I know that everyone, you know, likes to have their own thoughts. But you know, I said that I will run, you know, give everything for this team, and you know, I'll be out there running until the last minute, and that's what we did today.
You're part of a rare thing now. Only 3 opening matches won by England in World Cup campaigns. Tonight was number 3.
It's good. It's you know, it's a good pat on the back for us. But as I said before, you know, there's 2 more important games that we need to go and get some points from now. And I think we just prepare well, keep going, and hopefully the points will come.
Thanks for talking to us.
Cheers. Thank you.
England's second game against Panama is live on BBC One and the iPlayer next Sunday lunchtime. 2 games tomorrow, beginning with Colombia versus Japan, BBC One at 12:30. And host Russia will be looking to follow up their opening day win over Saudi Arabia when they take on Egypt. That's at 6:30. Let's hope we see Mo Salah in action. Don't forget, all BBC Live games can be watched in virtual reality.